All right, how unkempt is my hair today on a scale of it's pretty unkempt. All right, I'm Johanna with Agents of Helm. I am recording this for agentsofhelm.com, and this is my review of Gone Girl, which was released 2 fucking years ago. So, to anyone who's read it already and they're like, "What the fuck, Johanna? Like, what are you doing here?" I have a child, and that's all I need to say about it. I finally got around to it. I'm pretty sure that my book club has read it like 3 times over. Okay, Gone Girl. First of all, let me say what I said about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on the weekly last week, which was so good! So good! This was so good. It was so good. I read it, I mostly read all of it this weekend, and it was very much like, honey, you go cook for yourself. Baby, you got to tend to yourself and fend for yourself because mommy has got to finish this book. And I did, and it was amazing. Basic synopsis is a woman goes missing, and the husband misses her. The husband actually doesn't miss her as much as hate her. It's very complicated. The story is told from his perspective, and it's told from her perspective before she went missing, obvi. And, of course, it's always the husband who does it, right? That's not a spoiler. It's just everyone suspects that he did it. So that's kind of the mentality everybody has. So I really don't want to talk anymore about the plot because I want you guys to read this book, and I don't want it to be spoiled by me in any way. That's basically the plot. He has a sister. He's got a mom. He's got a dad. She's got 2 parents. The 2 parents wrote a children's book about her, a series, which I guess would make anyone slightly messed up. My review. This was not at all what I was expecting. The hype about this book made me think, and mind you, toddler, I didn't actually read any reviews, but the hype made me think this was just another literary book. It came out at the same time as a couple other books that were like these literarily hyped books, and so I thought it was going to be like your basic literature book, right? Like it would be up in the Strand in New York and have some like little, complex, pretentious blurb next to it. I like those books, mind you, but this was not that book. When I finally read some reviews after I read it, Gillian Flynn meant it to be a beach read that was literate, more in the literary vein. So, this book is trashy as a result. Trashy as fuck. It is like, Philippa Gregory. I don't know. When I think of Philippa Gregory, I think trash, but it's so well researched. This is like it's a step above because Philippa Gregory often repeats things. She tends to call people little, heaving bosoms. Gillian Flynn writes very well. Philippa Gregory writes okay. But we still read her books. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I am going to call Carol out because Carol is a huge fan. Hi, Carol. I'm a huge fan. There are several people in our book club who are her fans, even as we're reading like our very literary books. So, Gillian Flynn, same thing. Trashy. Like, it's like Dallas, but well written. So for people who are really like into like literary books who really want to break, I think that's what Gillian Flynn was going for. It was like my book club, like sipping Mai Tais on the beach and reading Gone Girl, and I'm here for it. I didn't have a Mai Tai or a beach, but it was totally escapist for me. Although I saw a lot of negative reviews on Goodreads about how the characters weren't likable, that tends to just kind of press my berserk button a little bit. I understand that an unlikable character who's really not well developed can seem like a hindrance to the plot or just make you really frustrated. But these were really well developed characters. And I think there's some sympathy that can be had towards them. Maybe not. I guess it just really, it really bothers me. I feel like it's lazy. I think that at that point it becomes a matter of taste because some people, myself included, love reading books about unlikable characters, because there's always something interesting in those black little hearts, or there's something you can always tease out. And sometimes you don't want to always read about the good guy or the hero or the bad guy who suddenly has a change of heart. Like, sometimes you want a Joker. That's what it is. And I wonder what the difference is between the Joker and between the characters in this book, because he's unlikable as shit. I think it's likely that Batman provides a foil to Joker. And please, any comic book fans of the movie, please comment about this. Why is the Joker's totally unlikable but kind of fun? Why is it okay? And other people tend to write these reviews about unlikable characters. Again, it's lazy. If it's a matter of taste, don't give a book 1 star because it has an unlikable character. That's like giving a book 1 star because it was about Georgian England and you wanted to read about Victorian England. And it kind of reminded me of after I read The Museum of Innocence by Orhan Pamuk, which is also about a character that's not completely sympathetic and kind of has like this, he's kind of creepy towards this one girl and he keeps like little presents, but at the same time you're kind of being drawn into his world because of the way Pamuk writes him. And that's why I didn't necessarily feel, he was creepy, but I didn't feel like I had to stop reading this 800-page book because he was unlikable. But I think a lot of people did. I think that really bothers me. It's the same thing when people talk about how books are gloomy or depressing and then give it 1 star. That's a matter of taste. And I'll talk about, speaking of gloomy, later, about the next book I'll be reading and reviewing. So, my recommendation, read this book. Read the book. Read the book. You'll love it. If you're into mysteries, if you're into crime, if you're into like quote-unquote literature, read the book. Once in a while I tend to go into detective mysteries. This is the book. It is so good. This review is 2 years late. People are going to be like, she's Anne Rice talking about Moby Dick. Read it. I'm not going to say any more about the plot because I want you to discover it. I want you to be floored. I want you to feel fucked up. I want you to be like the good people at the end of the book who, when like just this final twist is revealed, are like, okay, I'm going to leave this be. You have crossed the moral event horizon. Godspeed. And that's how you'll feel after this book. And you'll have a really bad taste in your mouth. So, next week I will be reviewing a book called Mrs. Poe. I've started reading it. I know I'm going to hate it. I knew I was going to hate it from the moment I read the sample. I don't know why I'm reading it. I'm hoping it'll be trashy and have lots of heaving bosoms. And if it doesn't, then I will cleanse my palate with some Philippa Gregory. So that review, it's a book about an affair between Fanny Osgood, who is a poet, and Edgar Allan Poe, who is quite the deadpan snarker as well. I'm really hoping that he stays that way and he doesn't turn into some Johnny Depp version of Edgar Allan Poe, because I'm sure a movie about that is in the works. So, but it'll probably have unlikable characters and be gloomy. And I'm okay with that. So, with that, I'm going to close. My name is Johanna with the Agents of Helm. You can watch this, other reviews, and other original content on agentsofhelm.com. And there's all sorts of fun stuff on there. You can find all of our episodes. You can find an RSS feed with all of our episodes. You can find our social media outlets. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something that Lorenzo wants me to say about the website, but I can't think of it right now. So, you can find me at Inky Octopus. Inky Octopus. It's like an octopus that has inky pooed himself. And you can find the agents, myself, Lorenzo, Malik, and Joe at Agents of Helm. And you can find us on pretty much every social media outlet, including Goodreads. I have some stuff on there. And that's Agents of Helm. Agents of Helm, no spaces, no periods, Facebook. Comment. I want to hear from the comic book fans. Why is the Joker so unlikable, and just yet people like him and don't complain about how he's unlikable or cynical. I want to hear. All right, so until next time, I will be wearing I don't know what people wore back then, but I'll be reviewing Mrs. Poe. Peace.